Grade 8.
What up, everybody? Whoever's having a good Sunday, welcome to the Pick Six Show with my guys Ty, Mike, and Peso. How's everyone feeling today?
Doing good. How about you?
Good, great. It feels a little weird being a guest on my own show, but I'm here.
Hey, man. W host in the building, man. Now you can sit comfortable. But nah, man. How's everyone doing? How was the games last night? Did anyone catch any college football?
Oh yeah.
I was watching Arizona and New Mexico last night. It was actually pretty good until about like the third quarter. I forgot that wide receiver's name that was over there, man, but I think he just broke the record for like most crazy yards.
Yeah, then he had like 400 yards, 300 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
At least 300.
Yeah, I seen some clips of that. I did watch the Colorado game.
Colorado State?
Colorado
on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
I caught that game. Who else did I catch? I did watch the Stanford game. And I think it was Stanford TCU.
Yeah, TCU won by 7.
TCU won that game, yeah.
Yo, who's that running back that had like 6 touchdowns?
Who, from Boise State?
Boise State. Oh, Genty. Sean Genty.
Crazy.
Yeah, he's one of the best backs in the country. I did catch some of the clips of the Tennessee game, and the quarterback there he looked really good. So did Miami and Florida. I caught that game. Cam Ward was just dicing them up. But yeah, man, there was some good football going on these last few days. We got some more games today we're going to discuss at the end of the show. But first things first, we're going to get into the Fox top 10 running back and wide receivers list that was posted on their website. And the first list we're going to discuss is the running back list here. Let me make sure everyone is seen.
I'm going to say everyone's seen but you. Oh, there we go.
Try to put us to the side.
So I'm assuming Nick Chubb is at 10, I guess, based off of injuries last year.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
He ain't even going to be out there for a few weeks.
He's going to miss the first 4 games.
Yeah, at least.
I can't put us to the side to put the image in the middle.
That's okay. You can keep it over me. I'm cool with it. No one wants to see this ugly mug anyway.
We have Chris McCaffrey at 1, Derrick Henry at 2, Saquon's at 3, Bijan's at 4, we have Breece Hall at 5, and then 6 we have Jonathan Taylor, 7 Jahmyr Gibbs, 8 Kyron Williams, 9 Josh Jacobs, and 10 to round it off is Nick Chubb. How's everyone feeling about that?
I'll go real quick. I wasn't here last week, but I don't have too much of a high stock on Derrick Henry, and just because he's going to be sharing that running game with Lamar Jackson, to have him at 2, I don't know. To me personally, I think it's a stretch. I'll put Saquon at 2. I'll probably slide him behind the running back from Atlanta. I really like him.
Bijan?
Yeah, but I don't know. My stock isn't too high on Derrick Henry this year.
As I said,
I'm kind of like curious to see how it's going to work out, to be honest with you. Lamar Jackson is not really like a flat quarterback. And Derrick Henry caught a lot of flat passes in Tennessee in the flats. I don't see him as an uphill back for the Ravens. I don't know. I wouldn't have him that high.
As I said last week, I think Justice Hill and Keaton Mitchell are 2 guys I'd rather have at running back than him at this point in his career, unless we're down on the goal line and we need 1 yard.
Okay. So, Ty, how you feeling about Henry? Because I'm hearing a lot of pushback on Henry.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like I said in the group chat, Derrick Henry every year since he turned 30. Been saying the same thing. He's getting up there in age. He's due to recline. And it just hasn't happened yet. And there's one thing that is going to be for sure. He is not going to see the same amount of carries that he's seen, obviously, in the past couple seasons with Lamar Jackson. But to say that since he's sharing the running game with Lamar Jackson, that he won't be as good, I think that's very disrespectful, because you could say the same thing as Saquon Barkley, sharing it with Jalen Hurts.
A lot of mouths to feed over there too in Philly.
Exactly. The thing about the Ravens, like I said, their receiving core is pretty much Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, and Isaiah Likely. So there's still going to be a run heavy, but I still believe Lamar's going to take that step back because he knows he'd rather save his legs for when it really matters.
So let me ask you this: who you think is going to have more yards this season, Saquon or Derrick Henry?
Rushing yards are all purpose, which will include receiving.
We go rushing yards
between Henry and.
Given that, you think that him and Jalen Hurts is equal, who you think gonna have more rushing yards this year? We know Philly got a lot more over there on that offense.
I wouldn't say Lamar and Jalen Hurts pretty much equal, but I will say that I believe Saquon will have more rushing yards due to the fact that he's been carrying the Giants, fresh new team. He's due to run big and pick up those yards and show what he's made of. Derrick Henry
hasn't Derrick Henry been carrying the Titans?
Yes.
Mr. 2K.
Yes, but the thing is, when you have a young running back carrying your team with a bad quarterback, and you decide to go pay the quarterback but not the running back, it doesn't make sense. The thing in Tennessee, they was paying Derrick Henry. They just couldn't get the quarterback situation right. And I just feel like...
Finish up, Ty.
Yeah, I just feel like Derrick Henry doesn't need to be Derrick Henry this season to be effective in that Ravens offense. So I don't think he's going to have crazy yardage. He might not even finish top 5 in rushing yards. But I feel like his impact alone still makes him a top 5 running back. Two, I can understand is pretty high going into the season, but I still believe Derrick Henry's a top 5 quarterback. Running back.
And I completely agree with you wholeheartedly. But exactly to that point right there is why I don't have him at 2. Is because just as you stated, Derrick Henry's still going to be useful there, but he doesn't have to be Derrick Henry. That's why I would slide Saquon up, because I think his impact on that team, Henry's still going to have an impact on the Ravens, but I think Saquon's impact is going to be significantly, his usage rate is going to be a lot higher, in my opinion.
As long as he can stay healthy.
And real quick to add perspective, last year Derrick Henry's rushing attempts dropped to 280 attempts. He still managed to get over 1,100 rushing yards. In 2022, his attempts was at 349 with 1,500 rushing yards. He's going to be a touchdown merchant, though, I believe, because he still had 12 touchdowns last year, and he had 13 the year before that. I also think we haven't touched on this enough last week and now. Just having, to Todd's point, having Henry in the box is going to just, his presence alone is going to help that offense, because people are going to have to worry about him and Lamar in the backfield. So now it might open up the deep pass or the mid to deep pass. So I expect Zay Flowers, Likely, Andrews, Bateman, and those guys to get more touches and capitalize on those opportunities with Henry and Lamar in the backfield, because defense is going to have to put too many men in the box. Because you got to focus on either one or take one out the game plan and focus on the other. So that should open up the passing game as well.
Nothing makes a running back too like an offensive line and a threat of a passing game. So, like Henry has that ability to shed tackles where a lot of these other guys don't. And one guy I know that we haven't really brought up yet is what has Bijan Robinson done to get up there? Like, yeah, he was a great player in college, and last year he had a decent year, but top 10 year, I don't know if I go that far.
I think it was also from what they have seen from him in the games he has played, and given that he was being held back in that Arthur Smith-led offense.
Yeah, they didn't have
But
a good solid quarterback.
Bijan can definitely make some noise. He had 4 rushing touchdowns, 976 rushing yards. He had over 1,400 total yards and 8 touchdowns and 214 attempts. So that's just what them holding him back, most people will believe. So I think given a new offensive realm and scheme there with Kirk Cousins there, they can give him a ball a little bit more. I think he's going to definitely be using a lot in those third down scenarios with him, London, and Pitts. And he might be able to get more yards in that aspect. But how y'all feel about Breece Hall?
I was real quick just about Robinson too. I like him in that spot, but I do think he's gonna slide down to maybe like 5, 6-ish. Maybe not top 5, but.
Well, I'm saying I think he belongs up there eventually. I just don't know this quick. I think he needs to prove a little bit more before you put him up there. I think he could go up this year with all the new additions they got there.
How y'all feel about Breece Hall?
He's a beast.
Underrated.
Do you think he's too low?
I would definitely have Breece Hall before Bijan Robinson, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
Yes, I agree. Breece Hall had the most receptions as a running back last year, and he had the most receiving yards out the backfield. And now it's without Aaron Rodgers. So I would like to think with Aaron Rodgers being there, that can get boosted as well as run touches, because that O-line is okay at best. They did have some pieces, but I still don't trust that team because with health. I still think Nick Chubb is too low personally. I know he got hurt last year, though he's going to miss the first month of the season. I still think he might finish around at least 6 at the lowest. But it's a make or break it season for Deshaun and that Cleveland's offense.
Yeah, that's true.
How y'all feel about Josh Jacobs being 9? Last week we had clips saying that he's top 4, top 3. You think he's ranked too low at 9? Because I think he's a little too low, in my opinion.
I think he's a little too low, in my opinion. But to your point, I mean, if we look at the running backs already 2 through 5, we're dealing with guys in either new systems or their quarterbacks finally coming back. So I definitely think things are going to change up for all of them. But Josh, I think he's going to have a decent year this year. I do think Jordan Love is going to blossom his game a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I do think Josh Jacobs should be ahead of, at least going into the season, he should be at 6. He should be ahead of Gibbs, Taylor, and Kyron. Just for what he was able to do last year. I know Kyron had a monster season, but given that he's also going to a new offense and given that how good Aaron Jones was in that offense last year, granted he's been there for some time, but having Jordan Love take over the reins, and he was hurt for most of that season, how he came on strong at the end of the season, to now plug in a Josh Jacobs, I think that offense is going to be even more potent, and I think it's going to take off some pressure off the receivers as well, kind of like what Derrick Henry will be able to do for the Baltimore offense.
What do you guys think about Kyron returning punts this year?
The most stupid
I don't like
decision in the world. I would have gave Sean McVay a pass if he said we're going to have Kyron Williams return kickoffs. It's a new format, supposed to protect the players. I can understand. You tell the media that you're going to have your RB1 return punts.
I just don't see why.
No. To me, and as a Rams fan, I'm very worried because Sean McVay, he loses interest in certain players easily. Once he feels like someone that he has in that depth chart is actually better or can potentially be better. And I think that Sean McVay is probably very high on Blake Corum, and which I think Blake Corum is amazing, but I feel like he should capitalize more on them being a duo rather than, singling a certain running back out. But that's just my thoughts.
I agree. Do you think his usage is going to go up? Because last year he had over 220 rushing attempts. And I know he didn't start the season off with that amount of touches.
It was already going to go down. And the fact that he's returning punts tells me it 100% is automatically going down.
So with that being said, do you think Kyron's going to finish the year as a top 10 running back, given that his attempts is going to go down because of Puka emerging in his second year? You have Kupp going to be there. And
isn't Puka injured, though?
He's a little banged up, but
I think he might be banged. I think he might be good to go. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be anything long term. But with Puka, Kupp, you mentioned Blake Corum. Does his usage go down, or with Puka being into some games possibly early in the season, does his usage go up?
I think honestly, if Puka misses games, it's definitely gonna go up for those games. But as a full healthy offense, I think his usage is gonna go down. But I do think he still has the potential of honestly ending right at that number 8 spot for top running backs, because I do feel like that Rams offense is going to be one of the best offenses in the league, and it's going to rely heavily on the run and pass at the same time. So I think he'll at least, at best, rush for 1,000. But let's see how high Sean McVay's on Blake Corum. That's all that matters.
The other guy you mentioned too, Jahmyr Gibbs, if he wasn't sharing carries with Montgomery, I think you'd see him a lot higher.
Oh yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned Jahmyr Gibbs. The reason why I had Josh Jacobs above him was because of that reason. There, he's splitting the backfield touches with Kyron. I'm sorry, not Kyron, with David Montgomery. So I don't see him having a better year than Jacobs. He did have a solid year last year, though, I will say. But then again, that old line in Detroit is very good. So who knows? Them two splitting carries, he might be able to break off some runs and help a lot. So I'm excited to see that offense and get a run back. Hopefully they can come out the NFC and finally get to a Super Bowl for the first time. I would love that for that city.
He needs to stop going for it on fourth down if he wants to get to a Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. I was watching receiver and just rewatching them go through the NFC Championship game, and I'm just watching it. It just got me more upset when I watched it live, especially the second time they went for it. I'm like, if you would have just went for the field goals, I probably would have still won that game. But
what about against the Cowboys? Remember the controversial penalty there? If he just kicks the PAT and not the 2-point, they go into overtime, and maybe I think they had a threat of the number 1 seed at that point. And I'm glad that it happened too, because I am not a fan of this analytics stuff of going for it on fourth down. This is a league where you need points. When you have points in the first 3 quarters, you cannot leave them on the board. You have to kick a field goal when you get the opportunity.
I agree. At the same time, when the Cowboys involved, I don't care. I don't care about the Cowboys. I love some of the players on that team. The organization itself, that's another story. They're not America's team. America's team resides in New England, and that's just my take on that. Any last comments before? I wanted to touch on Christian McCaffrey, the number 1 running back in the league, clear as day. How you guys feel about him and what he's going to do with this offense? Is he going to be on a revengeance tour after how last season ended? Or is his touches going to shrink now that they brought back Ayuk? They got everyone back. I don't think
Yeah,
I don't think
Williams.
Williams is not
Yeah.
there because he hasn't got an extension. So Trent Williams. I was gonna say Tyron Smith. I was thinking about the Jets.
I think McCaffrey's a lock at number one. I mean, I only see progress from him. I don't see digression. So he's a lock for me.
Williams is the key to that offense. I will be betting heavily against the 49ers if he is not out there week one. And I think you'll see regression from everyone in that offense, including Purdy, McCaffrey, Ayuk, Kittle, everyone if he's not there. Because look at the 2 games he wasn't there last year. It was not good for them out there. And one thing is I know you said the Patriots are America's team. I think America might want to own a different team this year. That might be a little embarrassing.
No. It's okay. We understand this year and moving forward for the next couple seasons. We're gonna be
It
down
look like
bad.
you think the Dolphins is America's team, Mike.
And
Definitely not. Trust me.
Nothing but the Buffalo Bills. That's all they are.
Yeah, OJ, America's player.
Now you do make a good point about Trent Williams not being there though. I definitely do think that's going to be a hit for them. Hopefully they could get him signed and going though. What's the status on that? They just haven't paid him yet.
Yeah, same thing that Ayuk was going through.
Yeah, I think John Lynch gets it done. I mean, I just trying to figure out how they got all this cap space. They re-signed Debo. They re-signed Kittle at one point. They just gave Ayuk money. Now they gotta have to give Trent Williams money. If I'm not mistaken, Bosa and Purdy's coming up too.
No, they just got Bosa last year.
They did get Bosa. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Yeah, they got Bosa also. Fred Warner, I think, still under long contract, so that's good for them. You still got Purdy that's going to come up. So it's like, I don't know where they get all this money from.
The salary cap doesn't exist. It's just deferring money and playing, doing gymnastics around it. It's a soft cap. It's not a hard cap league. Until they make it a hard cap league, you're going to just keep seeing stuff like this.
That's probably why the Cowboys ain't doing what they've been doing, man. Jerry Jones don't want to pay nobody.
Yep. A lot of the owners are like that.
Yeah, especially America's team. The real America's team. Yeah. I ain't gonna go there. I'm not gonna give Mike no ammo to get started on a Patriots rant.
No, the Chiefs are no different. Trust me, if you get the right coach and the right quarterback, that is a golden ticket right there. It shows us last year, like they put most of the money into the defense and the offensive line. So if you have those guys right there, you can really save some money. So that's why the Patriots got by doing what they did for so long.
Yeah, man. I just wish that the Chiefs would have paid Ladarius Sneed. I feel like losing him is going to be a big loss because no one ever talked about him on that back end on that defense. Him and I can't remember the other corner's name. His name's slipping my mind. Is it McDuffie?
Yep, Trent McDuffie.
Yep. Yeah, those two. They're not the ball hawks, but they don't give up catches that much. I love to see them on them two on the back end with Nick Bolton in the middle, and you had Chris Jones. I just wish, but we'll see. We'll see. Moving on, we're going to go into the top 10 wide receivers list. We haven't seen it. Only I've seen it. So this is going to be some dope reactions to see how everyone thinks about this top 10 receiver list that they came up. I know Mike's going to have something to say about some of the names on this list, particularly one. So
you might be surprised because even though I'm a Dolphins fan, I'm not that biased. See, I don't have a problem with that one bit. I'll even go the top 4 guys right there. They're all interchangeable in my opinion. If you put one over the other, I'm not going to be mad at it at all.
I don't know why I thought I seen Nico Collins on this list earlier last night. I must have been tired watching a lot of games. But CD Lamb top 3. Me personally, no. I think the third spot will be Tay Adams. But I can understand why they had him so low, given the quarterback situation in Vegas.
Wait, you don't think CD is going to be a top 3 wide receiver this year?
I think he is. I think he was last year.
He was last year.
I still have Tate Adams over him, but given that the situation in Vegas with the quarterback, CD being at 3 right now, I'm not mad at, because if you have him 3, I can't argue that CD's a beast. they put him in so many different situations and packages, and he succeeds. So I can't argue him being at 3. I just still prefer my guy Tay Adams, but that's just me personally.
I don't think Ayuk should be
A
up
little
there.
biased.
I think
I was literally about to say that.
I was waiting. That's why I said it's one name in particular. So let's talk about it, man.
Debo Samuel. He's the best wide receiver on that team.
1,300 yards last year.
Debo Samuel is a top 10 receiver?
No.
It's because of everything that he can do. He can do the run game and the pass game, which makes him dual threat. Because everyone thinks with the wide receiver, it's all about the catches, the touchdowns, and the yards. It's the other stuff you do too, the decoy, the block, and he's just more of a weapon to use in there. And as I've said in our group chat before, Ayuk's the 4th option over there. If you put someone like Garrett Wilson as the 4th option over there in San Francisco, what he's going to do with that?
Yeah, but he was the 4th option last year and had 1,300 yards.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Imagine if you put Garrett Wilson over there.
I also, to put context into that, because we did talk about this prior, him being a 4th option, you can argue 4th or 3rd, either or. He's not seeing the coverages that McCaffrey or Kittle has to see, so he has favorable matchups, you can argue. It's just me playing devil's advocate. Because 1,300 yards is 1,300 yards, regardless. Debo did miss games, so that helped him a lot. He had to step up and show that he can be productive in a bigger role, which was why he got his money, and I'm not mad at that. Him in the top 10, I don't know if I can put him top 10 yet, but then I'm trying to think who would I put into the top 10 over him is my next thought process. So I'm asking you guys. If you was to take out Brandon Ayuk in the top 10, who are you replacing him with?
Honestly,
Kupp, maybe.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp, or even, honestly, I'm surprised Puka Nacua is not on this list.
Cooper Kupp
came off an injury. That's why I understand if you don't put him. No, but that's what I'm saying. Cooper Kupp, I understand if you don't want to put in top 10 because he was injured last year. But a rookie putting up almost 1,500 yards and you don't put him at least 10?
Yeah, Kupp
that's kind of ridiculous. That's kind of ridiculous.
Who would you rather have, Puka Nacua or Brandon Ayuk?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know who the hell Puka, who the fuck that is, but 1,300 yards, man, as a 4th option, I'll take that.
Puka Nacua.
I'll take Puka
as a rookie.
1,486 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Yep, 6.
What team he on?
On the over.
The Rams.
He's on the Rams. I'm not gonna lie.
Enough of this Rams talk, man.
He might emerge. He might emerge as the number 1 coming into this season. He might. That's saying a lot, given how much Stafford relies and goes to his security blanket, Cooper Kupp. So Kupp is healthy, then obviously that won't happen. But
so you telling me? So you telling me is Brandon Ayuk is gonna sacrifice not being in the top 10 because he don't have the pivotal matchups?
No,
that's his fault.
No, that's not his fault at all. I was just saying he has favorable matchups, so that can help. But also, I was pointing out that Debo did miss games last year with the hairline fracture in the shoulder, in his left shoulder. So that showed that Brandon Ayuk can produce in a bigger role, which is why he was able to put up the numbers he did, and he got paid, which he deserved every penny. And I don't know why they were stalling. I wish my Patriots would have pushed harder to get him, but it looked like John Lynch was going to budge anyway on that. I think he was just going to play hardball. But I personally feel. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Musa. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Ask your question.
How do y'all feel about Jamar Chase? Because I do think if Joe Burrows gets hurt again, and I hope he don't, I think he slide down to like 5 or 6.
He played without him last year for most of the year.
He did. I just think he's substantially able to gain a lot more with him there.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's a lot of friction. Let me not use the word friction. That's a bad negative connotation. I feel like there's a lot going on over there because he hasn't gotten paid. So he's not trying to suit up and do anything until he
Shit,
gets
send him to
paid.
New England.
They ain't doing that.
Yeah.
You talk about enough Rams stock.
They did offer Ayuk more money than the 49ers, though. The Patriots.
They did. He didn't want to come here though.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
It's all right. We're gonna wait for Travis Hunter.
He can stay where he at.
Oh,
I would love to
they're
get
gonna
Travis Hunter.
Oh, they'll get him because Kraft will say, "Oh, I only have to pay a guy to play one guy to play two positions. I'm all over that. That's a deal."
Yeah, he'll ruin that kid real early.
Without Burrow, he still put up 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns. I think he might. If he slips, he probably will be at 5 or 6. I personally feel like the person that should be in the top 10 that's not in the top 10 is Amon-Ra. I feel like he gets the most disrespect on this list. People don't look at Brandon Ayuk because of all the weapons around him, but for Amon-Ra St. Brown to have 10 TDs and 1,500 yards and not be considered a top 5 receiver, to me, is blasphemous. He's one of the best route runners in the league. People say he's a slot merchant. Sure, whatever you want to call it, he gets the job done still. I think he's a top 5 receiver. Now, who would I replace him to put him in is the questionable part. Now, just because it's going into the season, I will probably say AJ or Chase can come out for him. But is he going to end the season as a top 5 receiver? I don't know. It has to be seen. But I think given what he was able to do last year, he should be a top 5 receiver going into
I guess BA going to get that Julian Edelman treatment. Because it's clearly looking like we ain't going to see him in the top 10 moving forward.
I don't know about that Julian Edelman. But he definitely. I don't know about that. Yeah, we got Malik Neighbors. I think Malik Neighbors gonna have a monster season.
Look at who's throwing him the ball. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, someone got to throw the ball.
Yeah, but that's a 50-50, man.
I think Malik Neighbors could have a good. I think he could go for anything from 850 to 1,100 yards.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I think it's either 1,000 or 500, give or take, with Daniel Jones. Honestly.
I can't think. What's the other rookie? Marvin Harrison. I think is gonna do well. Now, I trust Kyler more than I trust Daniel Jones. So,
yeah,
but
I agree.
For sure.
Garrett Wilson is my odd man out, only because, like I mentioned last week and earlier when we was talking about Breece Hall, the injuries. If Rodgers can stay healthy, then I have no issues with Garrett Wilson. I think he might be able to get into the top 10 talks. Top 5 talks. If you don't have a quarterback, same thing that y'all was just saying about Malik Neighbors, it can go either way. He's still going to be productive nonetheless. But how you feel about the old vet Mike Evans ending off the top 10?
I was going to say, I mean, he's always up there for me. I mean.
I don't think he gets.
I feel like it would be disrespectful if you have a top 10 list and not have Mike Evans.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I think he don't get enough respect considering that he has 10 or 11 consecutive years with 1,000 receiving yards, and people only want to talk about when he had Brady, but before that he had Winston. He had a couple quarterbacks that was not the tier. Cream of the crop of quarterbacks, and he was still consistently putting up numbers. So, and he's been in the league for a while, so he had to see some tough NFC South defenses throughout those years, and still was putting up numbers that he was doing. So, I'm not mad at him being at 10. I think he's underappreciated. I wish he would have left Tampa and went somewhere else. This is just me being biased, but I think he's going to help Baker improve even more.
Where exactly did you want him to go?
You know I want him to go.
I know. I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
You know I want. I need the Americans team to get all the help they can get because Lord Jesus, they need it. But yeah. Quick question before we move into our predictions: how y'all feel about Devin White, the linebacker? He's on Philly now. He was in those talks prior to.
Damn, I did not know he went
Super
to
Bowl.
Philly.
And he kind of fell off a cliff a little bit. but we're gonna get more into that once we get into our predictions.
Yeah. That Philly defense is ran by Vic Fangio, who was in Miami last year. And he had a good defense towards the end of the year before the injuries happened, but it took him about 8 to 9 weeks before it really formed. That's because they had to wait to get Ramsey back also. But I don't know. The way everything in Philly, I was about to mention too, A.J. Brown, he had a lot of slippage at the end of last year, but you want to talk about friction and tension. I think there's a lot of friction and tension in that Philadelphia locker room with more guys than just him. So I don't know. Philly is, we'll go in when my predictions, I'll say what I think about them, but I can definitely see them having a down year. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, I think Hurts is going to take more of that leadership role that now that Kelsey's gone. Him and Kelsey have been talking, from what I heard, and I think Hurts is a great leader. I think they'll be fine. But since we're already on the Eagles and topics, we're going to start off with the NFC East for our predictions, and we're going to have Mike start off the predictions. Before we do that, let me just move some names around. All right. And we're good to go. So, Mike, we're going to have you start off. What you got at the top of the NFC East?
I got the Cowboys in first. I know a lot of people don't have them that way this year, but I know they have a very old running back room, to say the least. But just with what I saw Dak and CD, and don't sleep on Brandon Cooks either, do last year, I think they'll get it done. I think this will be a very weak division when it's all said and done. Not the weakest division in the conference, but I think it'll definitely be the second weakest. Second, I got the Eagles. I got them first team out of the playoffs. I think they'll just barely miss it. Third, I got the Commanders, and then last, I got the Giants.
Real quick, who won the division last year? Was it the Eagles? The Cowboys?
Cowboys, yep.
Cowboys won it, right? Ty, who you got?
Actually gonna go with Philly. I feel like everyone else in the division does not look good at all. I think, to Mike's point, I agree. This is going to be a weak division, not the weakest. I just feel like there's just too much talent on Philly to really, not win this division, especially Dallas not looking as great as they did last year. I just feel like there is no way you cannot win this division. And if you don't win this division, there's going to be major changes coming in Philly. I'll tell you that. Second, speaking of Bill Belichick, I actually believe that this next team, the Dallas Cowboys, will miss the playoffs.
Oh, that ain't happening.
And they will have a new quarterback and a new head coach named Bill Belichick, because
Musa,
I believe
you should have went to the soundboard for that one, Musa.
I just don't believe Jerry Jones is going to actually let someone run the team other than Jerry Jones.
But they both are going to run that team.
I'll tell you like Sharon. That's why
I'll tell you that, because Jerry Jones already did the number one thing Bill Belichick doesn't like to do: pay a wide receiver. So Bill Belichick don't got to pay no more wide receivers when he comes in for Dallas. But Dallas's run games, I don't like. The receivers are good. I love that receiving room. I think a big season from Lamb, big season for Dak. He has to be good, because he's going to be fighting for a contract. But I feel when it's all said, he has to.
Be good?
I don't think so. I think he's going to be the same old Dak Prescott. That's why I have them missing the playoffs. Third, which I think is a sleeper team, I have more to say about them, but I just don't like their receiving room outside of Terry McLaurin. Then last, the Giants, of course, because they suck.
Yeah. I think my list is gonna replicate Ty's.
You got the
Pretty
Eagles
much.
at 1.
Yeah. I just don't trust the process with the Cowboys. If the Commanders had a little bit more depth over there, to be honest with you, I'll put the Cowboys third. I just don't trust that process over there. It's kind of like how I look at Philly, but I'll leave it there.
All right. Well, considering, if you guys don't notice, there hasn't been a back-to-back winner in the NFC East in probably 8 years. So, with that being said, the Cowboys ain't going to be the top of my list. But neither is the Eagles.
You don't even believe this.
I'm going with my dog, Jalen Daniels.
Oh, hell no.
I got the Commanders winning this division.
It's actually, you're not the first person I've heard say this. This is
how many games you got them winning this
year? Just pause on that real quick. I believe in Arthur Smith as a head coach when it comes to the defense. And with that defense, Jonathan Allen, you have Bobby Wagner in the crew, and you give Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, an actual quarterback. And that I couldn't think about it then. That's who I would replace Brandon Ayuk with Terry McLaurin. I think Terry McLaurin is easily a top 10 receiver in this league. And he's going to prove why with this rookie quarterback. I'm not going to say he's going to have a season like C.J. Stroud, but given the fact that no one has won the NFC East back-to-back years, and in those last 8 to 9 seasons, it's been between Eagles, Cowboys, Commanders, and then the Giants won it one time.
We need to clip this.
Clip it, ship it. It don't matter. I got my dog.
This express.
The Commanders winning the division.
What Bernie say? Oh my God.
I got the Commanders winning the division. I'm going out on a limb. Scared money don't make no money. You heard it.
How many games, Musa?
I haven't even looked at the schedule. I gotta look at the schedule. I'll pull up the schedule in a second. I'll pull it up right after I finish my picks and before we move to the NFC West. So I got the Commanders at 1. After that, it's a toss-up, honestly. I'm probably gonna go Eagles at 2. I trust the Eagles more right now than the Cowboys because the Cowboys are the Cowboys. Like Stephen A. would say, just wait. When it matters the most, they always gonna fail. They always fall on their face. They're gonna have the highs of highs and they're gonna have the lowest of lows. And I don't think them being in third in the division is gonna be record-wise. It's not gonna be too glaring. It's just not gonna be up to their standards. And then I got the Giants in those ugly ass jerseys they got. Some new jerseys being the bottom of the bottom barrel for that division. So that's who I got. I'm going out on a limb. I believe in Jaden Daniels, and I believe they're going to surprise everyone and win that division. Now, Peso asks me how many games I got them winning. I'm going to pull up the schedule right now and see.
That opinion of the Commanders win the division is more popular than you think, though. I've heard a lot of people saying that as the sleeper, so don't be surprised if it happens.
I wouldn't say it's a reach, but I don't know that wide receiver.
So we all sitting here saying the Commanders got a chance to win that division. We all gonna favor. Listen, it's okay to believe, fellas. Everybody watching, it's okay to believe.
I think there will be a sleeper. But that wide receiver room with Terry McLaurin, Zacchaeus, and Noah Brown. I mean, the addition of Noah Brown's pretty good. But I felt like they should have kept Jahan Dotson.
Yep.
I agree. I got the schedule up here.
I don't know. Yeah.
So real quick, I'm gonna pull it up on the screen. This Peso think I'm smoking catnip, and that ain't the case. I got the Commanders.
You on something worse than that?
some shit you showed me, huh?
Yeah, something I cooked up.
This looks like a little too small. Let me try to zoom in real quick.
Yeah, zoom in on that.
How's
What are you
that?
talking about?
Let's go game by game, all of us right now.
Those are
I'm gonna zoom in
preseason, the
one
first two,
more
right?
time.
Oh,
No,
that's regular season.
Tampa is regular season. I'm gonna zoom in one more time. See how that looks.
All right, so they could go 2-0 to start.
I got Tampa in that first game.
They're at Tampa.
In
Oh,
Tampa,
they at Tampa
that's
too.
hard.
Yeah.
I got Tampa winning that game.
So 1-1. All right.
Yeah, they're beating the Giants.
Cincinnati, that's an L.
I'm iffy on Cincinnati considering the Chase situation, but I'll give it an L for now.
He'll be back week 3, if anything.
He'll be playing this Sunday, I'm sure.
I'll give him an L for that. Sure. They're beating Arizona in Arizona. They're beating Cleveland.
Oh, I disagree with that.
And I don't think they're going to beat them because of their offense. They're going to beat them because of the defense. I think Deshaun Watson's going to find a way to lose that game, unfortunately.
Yeah, but that Cleveland defense against a rookie? Come on.
Hey.
Come on.
I seen C.J. Stroud cut him up. I believe Jaden can do just enough to keep them in the game.
Yeah, but I think C.J. Stroud played them twice, no? He played them first end of the regular season and played them again in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
when you have that experience, of course you're going to be good.
I think
you got them 4-2 to start. Boy, keep going. Yeah, there we go.
I believe that he can keep them in the game just long enough to where Deshaun is going to make a mistake. I'm not saying he's going to be heroic. No. He going to have a rookie game probably. But Deshaun is going to forget how to play, and that's going to cost him the game.
See, that's how you know somebody like Musa work with kids. He's always talking about believe.
Believe potential.
He's been watching too much Joe Hendry.
I don't even like him. I don't even like the gimmick like that. Shout out to Joe Hendry though.
So Baltimore.
Baltimore's an L. We not no.
Chicago's an L.
No. I think they beat Chicago. I think
I got Chicago and Baltimore over.
And they're home. I got Chicago. They're beating Carolina.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think this is when New York gets them. I think they split with New York, so New York wins.
Yeah, I think they'll take two from New York.
They sweeping in the division?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh in their home.
I think they can
so
win
right now, so far we got the Commanders winning about 8-9 games so far. We ain't even done.
Yeah, we're only week 9.
That's where we going?
No, we in week 10. We in week 10.
We got to win about 8 games right now, 7 games.
No. Hold on. Let me see. Tampa's a loss. New York's a win. That's 1 dub. Cincy's a toss-up. So I said if y'all have Cincy winning, that's fine. Arizona's a win. I had Cleveland about only one. I was like, it's an upset alert. So that's 3. They lose to Baltimore. They win to Carolina. That's 4. Chicago's 5. I had them losing to New York. Mike said they sweep. So I have them at 5 wins leading into the Pittsburgh game. And I'm thinking tough about this Pittsburgh game because, like y'all saying the way y'all say about Cleveland, I feel the same way with Pittsburgh's defense, but that quarterback play is just.
Yeah, especially naming Russ the starter.
They're probably losing.
I'm gonna go. I think they beat
5 out of the next 6-7 games.
I think they beat Pittsburgh just because that O-line is not good in Pittsburgh. So I think they beat Pittsburgh. So that's 6 wins going against Philly. They lose to Philly.
Traditional Christmas era. I'm sorry, Thanksgiving Day game, Dallas.
Oh, they're gonna beat Dallas on Thanksgiving.
I got Dallas.
Only because Dallas finds a way to lose on Thanksgiving when they're not supposed to. If they're not supposed to win, they typily win.
They're losing the last 3 games.
Last 3 games.
Tough. They're beating. Hell no, they're beating Atlanta.
No.
What?
So.
Atlanta?
I don't.
I'm not.
So.
Unless Kirk Cousins tears his Achilles again by week 17.
Hey, so what are you smoking on? You must have too much JJs in that catnip because ain't no way in hell
Why is the Commanders being Atlanta this year, Musa?
It's the Falcons.
Actually,
the Falcons making the playoffs.
Actually, you might be right because Atlanta might wrap up the NFC South by then. So you might be right.
It's the Falcons, unfortunately.
The Falcons' schedule is very favorable this year too.
And even though I might or may not have them winning the division, like Ty. I just think by then they're not gonna.
What? Believe what happened?
I got Atlanta losing that game.
Arguably, you got them winning about 8 games.
I may or may not have Atlanta winning that division. We'll get there we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Back to Dallas on Thanksgiving. Yeah, I have them winning. I have them beating Tennessee. They lose to New Orleans. They're in New Orleans.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They lose. They lose to Philly. I think they're gonna split with Philly. I have them to the term. Oh, the times to TBD. Okay, I thought it was the location. I have them. I got them beating Atlanta, and I think they lose to Dallas. At Dallas. The reason why I actually have them beating Dallas on Thanksgiving because they're actually at home. Dallas is on the road on Thanksgiving, which is very rare.
Yeah,
I remember the last time Dallas was on the road for a Thanksgiving game. But considering how much blunders they done had the last few years, they don't need to be at home anyway. Take their ass on the private jet and earn your Thanksgiving meal.
Dallas struggles on grass too. I think did they even win a game last year on grass? They were like 0-5, I believe, or something like that.
Did they lose in Washington last year?
So, if I remember correctly.
And late November, it might be cold out there. Them boys is in Texas. They don't like the cold out there. They don't like the cold out there. You know? Wale ain't gonna have to pull up to that game with KD. KD might get off.
I say you should bring Fat Trell to the game.
Mike invited to the cookout.
I was gonna say, what you know about Fat Trell, man?
Mike invited to the cookout, man. I should have known. Man. Me and you do pay, so I should have known.
Mike's always been white chocolate in my eyes, man.
We clipping that. But yeah, so how many games is that total? Let me see.
About 8. They ain't winning that division.
8 to 9.
Yeah, that's about like 9.
10 games. Yeah, they can win that division. It's the NFC East. They weak.
Yeah, I think that division's gonna go back to its normal state. So,
oh man,
I got Philly second in the division. The reason why I'm so low on Dallas is I don't trust the O-line because they're old. I don't trust that running back group at all. You bring back Zeke. Oh, reunion. I don't see it.
Don't forget Dalvin Cook.
I was about to say you're bringing in Dalvin Cook. You got AAA waiting. So that car gonna break down. You only got CD. I do like Brandon Cooks. I think Brandon Cooks is slept on. And that's it. Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz is actually gonna have a great year for tight ends. Oh, no, he's not there no more, right? Isn't he in Houston?
Yeah, he's in Houston. Jake Ferguson's who you're thinking of.
That's who I'm thinking of. Yeah, no.
He had a good year last year, especially
he did have a good year last year. But I just don't think Dallas improved.
They didn't do anything.
I agree with that.
All they did was breathe. I don't trust that offense. And Micah Parsons is gonna have to put up a shut up for that defense if they're gonna win games.
Yeah, no Dan Quinn this year either, because he's the head coach of the Commanders now, so it's going to be an entirely new defense.
Oh, say that again.
No Dan Quinn.
And what team is he coaching?
The Commanders. But we got to remember.
Oh, okay.
But he's also Dan Quinn, so.
Yeah, he also matter of fact, now that you put it that way, yeah, Atlanta might win that game. He might have PTSD.
Bland's out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, Peso, I'm gonna have to go with you on that. I think Dan Quinn gonna cost that game against Atlanta. He gonna have PTSD from that Super Bowl, that 28-3 Super Bowl. But he did coach a Legion of Boom, so that's why I have some hope. I believe. But yeah, that's enough for the NFC West. Let's get back into these predictions. think it was NFC South is next, or the East. I mean West.
No, we just
Falcons
did
at
these.
one.
Yeah, we got the West.
On the West. All right.
Yeah, Mike, we're gonna start with you. Let me make sure I get everything situated. Let's get it.
All right, I got the 49ers first. I got the Rams second. Cardinals third, and Seahawks last. I think 49ers will be the only team coming out of this division to make it to the playoffs. And the only one reason why I'm down on the Rams is because I want to see how that defense is with no more Aaron Donald.
Okay. Cardinals third, Seahawks last. All right. I don't got much to say. Anyone else got any gripes, opinions on the list, on his division winner?
Nah, that list is
No.
probably the same to me, to be honest with you. Kyle Murray, I'm not really too big on him, and I honestly got them last and the Seahawks third. But I agree with Mike. The Rams, I am interested to see. I actually forgot that Aaron Donald retired, so I am interested to see. I think with Jared Goff over there, I think he's going to keep them in some type of contention in that division. I'm not saying 10 games, but they'll be the second best team in that division to me.
Okay. Ty, who you got? I think everyone here gonna get the Niners. I'm assuming, right?
I don't know. We got the Rams fan.
Nope.
You never know.
No, I'll do Niners winning the West. Rams second. I do think it's going to be a close division. I think both of those teams make the playoffs. Then Cardinals third. I think Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride is going to really carry that offense
James
with Kyler
Conner.
Murray. That defense is very questionable. Seahawks, very surprising at last because I do think they're a well-rounded team. But I think Geno Smith comes back down to earth and ruins their season.
Goes back to his Jets days.
If you're watching, man, like, subscribe, leave a comment. It's free to show love, man. This is our NFL NFC conference predictions.
Yeah, man. All y'all basketball watchers, man, it's football time now. Pick six, baby. Like the channel.
Pesos on you.
Oh, I had the
Same
I
list.
had the Rams. Yeah, I had the Rams second. I got Seahawks actually third. I actually think Geno's gonna have a decent year. Not a top 5, top 10 quarterback, but I just don't like Kyle Murray. I think he plays around too much.
You have the Seahawks
third,
third, right?
Yep. Kyle Murray just play around too much, man. I think he need to grow up. I kind of feel bad for Marvin Harrison. I think he's gonna have a good season, but I'm just not too high on Kyle Murray.
Yeah, man. So I got the Niners as well. I actually got the Seahawks finishing second in that division. I think that we don't talk about their corners on that team. Tariq Woolen and Witherspoon. I love those corners on that team. Kenneth Walker is a running back I need to watch out for. I think he can creep into that top 10 talk. They have the pieces. It's just people's only biggest gripe is the quarterback position. I think Geno can do just enough as a vet to get them to win games. I think it's time for DK to put up or shut up. Focus, control that anger, and be the number one that people thought you could be coming out of the draft. I also see the emergence of JSN, Jackson Smith Enigma. I think he's going to evolve to that legit number 2 option. And Tyler Lockett will be the third old reliable option. I think he's going to see a lot more slot work also. So I believe in the Seahawks being second. I want to trust the Rams, but I don't know if Stafford can stay healthy. Same with Cooper Kupp. And I like everyone else. I got to see how the defense looks.
That's what I meant to say. I said Jared Goff. That's what I meant. Matthew Stafford. My bad.
I want to I really want to see how Sean McVay coaches this. I think this is his biggest coaching year because now you got a full year removed without AD. You have a team where it's not money heavy spent. So now you're coaching and the way you go about the thing process is going to be shown. I want to see what he can actually do with this team. So I'll keep him at 3 for now. And the Cardinals, I love Marvin Harrison. Kyler, I need Kyler to watch more film and less Call of Duty. I love Kyler. I think Kyler can do great things. I just need him to focus on that. I love what James Carter could bring to them as a stable, reliable running back. Trey McBride's going to emerge. I love Buda Baker. I got it. I don't know about anyone else on that defense. Someone else is going to have to step up, though. But for now, I'll put them at the bottom of the division. Moving forward, we got the NFC North.
Okay, personally, I think this will be best division in the NFC. I got the Lions repeating this year. I think that offense is just too much, and supposedly they fixed the secondary. I'll believe it when I see it, but regardless, they can put up enough points where they'll.
They lost Gardner Johnson too. Gardner Johnson went back to Philly,
and what was it? Sutton, the corner, I believe too.
Yeah. I do love Brant. I think it's Branch.
Yeah, I don't know.
The safety. I'm probably mixing up. I'm mixing up players. Pardon me.
I got the Bears in second, and I think the Bears will be a wild card team. And they could tie for the second and third spot. I got the Packers. I also think they will be a wild card team. They might have a slow start too, because usually, what's his name? Why can't I think about the coach?
Jordan Love.
No, the
Mike LaFleur.
Yeah, Matt LaFleur. I'm sorry. He has a lot. He's money when it comes down to December football and the end of the year. And if they got any problems in the beginning, he always works them out. Then last, I got the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings are going to be necessarily such a bad team as people are thinking they're going to be, but it's just such a tough division. I don't see how they finish above any of those teams.
Okay. All right. Ty, who you got?
All right. So I have the Lions repeating as NFC North champs. I think, honestly, right now they are the best team in the NFC. If it wasn't for terrible play calling by their head coach, they could have saw a Super Bowl last year.
You think they would have beat the Chiefs?
No, I don't think they would have won it.
They beat them week 1.
I think they would have probably gave them some.
Yeah, but no Chris Jones. So
yeah, that's true.
So I definitely think,
and no Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I definitely think they could have made the Super Bowl last year. They're probably my early favorites to go to the Super Bowl this year. I just think they're an amazing team, amazing offense. I hope Dan Campbell actually coaches the running game better and actually uses Gibbs and Montgomery how they should be used rather than the opposite. Second, I have the Packers. All this Jordan Love talk, he has to prove it. A good second half to the season in the playoffs. Doesn't do as much as I would think a top 10 quarterback should do, the way people are ranking him now. But I do think with the addition to Josh Jacobs, you're basically getting Aaron Jones in his prime, maybe even better. So pretty much that's going to make the offense good. The only thing I have a question for the Packers is how they are going to. I just want to know who's going to be their number one receiver. It's too much guys that their ceiling can be high, but their floor is low. Too much guys that are all the same. I feel like a great football team needs to have structure, especially in the receivers. I don't think Christian Watson is a number one, but I do think Jalen Reed or Devontae Wicks can actually be their number one.
Not Romeo Dobbs?
Dobbs to me is their number one, especially just what he's been doing. But I feel like they don't show him no love.
What about Watson?
Personally, I feel like they show Watson more love than Dobbs.
But because Love I think Love's more of a deep threat type of quarterback, and that's Watson's MO, the deep threat. That's his money.
Yeah, but to treat Watson like your number one, this is why they had a slow start to the season last year. Third, I have the Bears. This it's just very hard because I feel like honestly this team can surprise people, and if they are living up to their potential, they can win the division. It's very rare that you see a rookie quarterback, especially a number one pick, go to a team that's just stacked. This team is stacked.
If only they would have done that for Justin Fields.
Personally, I would have done it for Justin Fields, but if Caleb Williams is, the future, and he is a great future Hall of Fame, then this was the smartest decision they ever made. I do think all those three teams, besides the Vikings, make the playoffs. Vikings, you're starting Sam Darnold, so it's not.
Can he have a Geno type year?
He does have probably the best wide receiver in the league, so he can. But I just think it's going to be a wonky season. It's just going to be Justin Jefferson, and that's it. It's nothing much to really worry about over there.
Peso.
I'll be quick. I got Lions winning the division again. Got them repeating, making the NFC Championship. I got them going to the Super Bowl actually this year. Second, I'm gonna go with the Bears. To what Ty was saying, them having a real stacked team over there, I do think Caleb Williams is gonna have a pretty decent season. I think he will win Rookie of the Year. I'm gonna call that out now. Third, I'm gonna go with the Packers right behind them. I actually think it might be a tie between the Bears and the Packers. I think it might come down to like the last game or two during the season. And the Vikings, I got last.
All right. I got the Packers winning the division.
Okay.
I got the Lions coming in second. I got the Bears at third, but they'll be probably tied with the Vikings. I'm gonna give Caleb Williams some grace because he is a rookie. But in hindsight, too, there's no reason why he can't succeed. He has all the pieces he needs to do what he can do. Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift, like that. Him not making the playoffs or not being a wild card at least will be kind of crazy to me, given all the weapons he has. But I still want to believe it to see it, so I'll put them comfortably at 3. The Vikings third is simply because I don't trust the defense and they have the quarterback issue. Although I do love Jordan Addison, Jetters, of course, and they have Aaron Jones. And I think Aaron Jones is going to be on a revengeance tour. Even though he's always key professional, so it sucks that I had to put him last, but that's why I have him for now. The Lions, they did lose some pieces on that defense, so I think they might take a step back. The offense is just too potent. I think the reason why I have them at second, I think it's going to come down to the last weeks of the season. And I got the Packers surprising everyone. I think Jordan Love finally puts it together. The offense clicks. And I think Jair Alexander is going to have a healthy and NFC Defensive Player of the Year candidate type season. Him and Rashawn Gary. And I think that will propel them to to win that game. I'm so interested in the Packers because they got so many weapons on that offense from the receiving group, and they add Josh Jacobs. The O-line is a little iffy, but I feel like they can do some. They can shake something up in that division. So that's who I would have winning that division. Any thoughts before we move on to the final division?
You think Aaron Jones will affect the Packers at all, being injured?
Aaron Jones affect the Packers in what way? Playing against them?
No, the running back. Was it him or Dylan that got injured?
Oh no, Aaron Jones is in Minnesota now. It was Dylan.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
I got the two of them confused.
Boston College, yeah, that's right. He did get hurt. I think he's up for the season too.
Yeah, I believe if not, it's until like December or something.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough loss. It's going to affect them somewhat, but that's why they got Josh Jacobs there. The Hestra, if you let Clips tell it, and I agree. So I think they'll be fine. All right, we're going to move into the NFC South.
Okay. Hold on, I gotta get to that.
While you get ready, I'm actually have Peso start because we know he's the homer.
Yeah, that's true.
Peso, who you got?
I'm always gonna rock with the Patriots, man. That's the home team. You already know. But my second home is Atlanta, and I do think with them having Kirk Cousins, I'm hoping that they stay healthy this year.
Kirk Cousins will be at bad daddies too much.
Oh man,
milk and honey.
I got them winning about 11 games this year. 11, 12 games. I got Atlanta taking the division by storm. Next I'm gonna go with the Saints.
The Aints? Okay.
I think this might be the wackest division in the NFC, to be honest with you.
It has been the past few years.
Now that I'm like looking at it, I'm like, damn. I actually think Tampa Bay, Carolina, I do think they're gonna win a few more games. Given that they got a whole new line protection for that quarterback down there. Hopefully he could get his rocks off and show a little bit more. But I got them last. But I think the Falcons take this division easy.
Mike, you ready?
Yeah, I am. Okay. I got the Buccaneers repeating. I know they lost a few guys on defense, but
man, send this man out of here, man.
No, wait. I got the Falcons in second with a wild card. They will make.
Now, Mike, what you smoking on, Mike?
You already know that. I messed my own supply, if you know what I mean. But
listen.
But
this some bullshit. He said the Bucks number one.
Bucks have been number one the past 3 years, I believe.
Oh, shout out to Steven. Man, he said the Falcons are definitely a dark horse.
A dark horse? What do you consider a dark horse, Steven? What the hell that mean? A dark horse?
Maybe he's
you know what a dark
horse
mean? Yeah.
He's talking about the Mustang.
Read between the lines, Peso.
Listen, it's a guaranteed lock. The Falcons are in.
You sound a bit biased over there. Sound a bit biased.
A dark horse.
Hey man, y'all Falcons.
Go ahead,
man,
Mike.
Y'all be at JJ's and Milk and Honey too damn much. I need to leave the run punch alone and focus on the field.
Hey, Atlanta ain't really made for football, man. Them Georgia Dogs, though, that's different.
We know what y'all about, man. Yeah, I need to go back down there. Anyway.
So third, I got the Saints, and then last, I got the Panthers. I think you'll see some improvement from the Panthers, though, this year. Not much, but you'll see some improvement.
Okay. Tied with the plan. If you ever need a DB, a corner, or a safety, Ty's your guy. Just
you know that. Yeah. I think this is a terrible division. I think Atlanta actually wins this division with ease.
Okay.
And I mean, Kirk Cousins, I'm not the big fan of Kirk Cousins. However, Atlanta is
talking
due.
About Atlanta, a sleeper team. What is there to sleep on?
There's plenty to sleep on with all that food y'all got out there. all y'all gonna do is have the
I
Irish?
definitely think they're a sleeper team for the playoffs. However, the division, they should be the favorite by far, because second place, honestly, this was tough for me to rank. I will do Buccaneers, because I feel out of all three quarterbacks left, Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield, Bryce Young, I trust Baker Mayfield. However, I think he's the reason why the Bucs will not win that division, because I don't think he played. He played a good season, but it wasn't a great season last year. And I just feel like what helped them was everyone in the division being terrible. But when you have the Falcons being good, just feel like this division goes back to normal, to how it was. One clear winner. Third, I actually have Carolina. I think Carolina, terrible season last year.
Bucks is a proven team. Steven said, "Yeah, they did lose some
Yeah,
pieces, though."
but it's a quarterback league, and I think Baker Mayfield's time is over. I think the Bucs should have went to go get a quarterback. Not saying a starting quarterback, but at least a rookie quarterback, sit behind. Unfortunately, nothing happened. So I feel like too much.
Third.
Yeah, I got the Panthers third because poor Bryce Young. You know, honestly, I feel like everyone is giving Bryce Young all this hate. Well, Philly was a bad team. That's why they beat them in the playoffs. Yeah. Anybody could have beat that Philly team in the playoffs.
Philly was.
I could have. We could have. Philly was bound to lose. Philly gave up.
They lost their heart.
16.
When they got spanked by the Niners, they lost their heart.
Yeah, it was over for that. Yeah, I think Bryce Young gets a lot of hate because he was drafted before CJ Stroud. That's it. If it was the other way around, if Bryce Young got drafted second, people wouldn't have all these outrageous takes. Their receiving group got a little better. They're young. I think third, I give them the edge over the Saints, because I think the Saints are due for a terrible.
That's nasty.
I think the Saints are just due for a terrible season. I think they should just blow it up. Head coach, quarterback, running back, just blow everything up. Poor Chris Olave. He is a sleeper wide receiver. Somebody you can really argue in the top 10 if he had real quarterback play. But unfortunately, he doesn't because he has Derek Carr. And I think they're going to have a similar season as last year, lose all these close games, lose to terrible teams. And I think at most they win like 5-6 games.
Okay. All right. This is actually, other than the NFC North, this is probably one of the tougher divisions I had to really pick who will win. Other than the Panthers being last, I feel like they're a couple of years away. They still need more pieces. Like they got Xavier Legette from South Carolina, but they still need other pieces that's glaring that they need to fix before they can actually make a run at the division, in my opinion. The top of the division, I'm torn between these three teams because I think either one of these teams can get hot and do something. With that being said, I really wanted to pick the Saints, but because I think Spencer Rattler could be their future quarterback.
Yeah, hit the soundboard for that one.
No, because I ain't got the win of the division. I'm just giving him some love right now. So pause there. Spencer Rattler could be their future quarterback. I think he can.
You lucky
help.
I ain't logged in.
Yeah. Shut your ass up. No. But now I don't got the Saints winning the division. I got them. I'm gonna keep them at 3, just because I need to see what that quarterback play is gonna do and if it's gonna be consistent. I'm gonna go Bucks also winning the division. I'm gonna go to Bucks. And I got the Falcons second, but probably like a game difference. So laugh if you want. It's all good. I got them winning the division. See, thank you. He know ball. Spencer Rattler is a baller. Yes, he had some rough situations in college, though he had to transfer and stuff. But I think the Saints getting Spencer Rattler is a steal.
Steven sound like he another believer. But go ahead.
That's Steven sound like a believer. That's why he family, brother. That's why he family.
How many
He know
times
ball.
did Rattler had to transfer?
Twice, I think it was.
At least.
At least
Yeah.
twice.
He allowed Caleb Williams to shine that one game. I remember that when he came off the bench.
I think he had a big game last year too, Spencer Rattler, against a big team in college, ended up winning. Yes, sir, Stevie. You better believe. The best day to believe is on a Sunday after church. Yeah. But yeah, I think them getting Spencer Rattler with, if they could develop him around, he could be a steal in that draft for them and be productive. So he's a future pick, which is why I got them at 3. I think if he can develop, him and Chris Olave can be special, potentially. I got the Bucks winning the division because of the defense. I think Antoine Winfield Jr. is going to lead that defense, and I believe with him and Villavea in the front, they can make some things shake. They can definitely stop the run, which is going to help because with them being able to stop the run, that allows their offense to get more chances at scoring the ball. But it was a toss-up because I really do like the Falcons. I think the Falcons have the most pressure in this division to win, given everything they have. They have A.J. Terrell, Grady Jarrett. They have the defense. They have the offensive weapons. They just need to produce on the field. So they have the most pressure, and because of that, I think it limits some of the pressure that the Bucks have, and they can actually steal that division. I agree, Steven. The Saints do have a good defense, but it's going to come down to quarterback play, and I don't know if Derek Carr is going to be consistent or healthy enough for that to happen. So that's why I got the Bucks winning that division. Any other questions or thoughts before we move forward?
I agree.
I got the Falcons and the Lions NFC Championship. I'm calling it now.
Who you got winning now?
He said the Lions.
The Lions winning.
Lions winning? All right. I got the Lions winning the NFC as well.
I was going to ask. Yep, I agree. Derek Carr could potentially be over the hill, but I think being over the hill in this division can still win the division, possibly. They do got Tyrann Mathieu. They still got Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. I think he ain't the same Honey Badger, but I think he's still productive nonetheless. They still got Marshawn Lattimore, so I think they can do something.
The only hill he's over is Taysom Hill.
They got the Lions ain't going back to the NFC chip. I don't know. I will say this before we move forward to our Week 1 pick predictions. Who y'all got coming up the NFC? I know, Mike, you said you got the Lions.
Yes.
All right, Mike got the Lions. Ty, who you got?
I also got the Lions.
The Lions as well. Peso?
You already said he got the Lions.
Yeah, I got Detroit.
Y'all all got the Lions? Y'all don't think the Niners can make it back out?
Nah. They've been too many times the last couple of years. I think they done with, and I don't think Brock Purdy is gonna be able to. The Lions go up. Dan Campbell ain't gonna let that happen again. Let me just leave it at that.
Yeah, I think the 49ers take a step back. If I wasn't trying to be biased, I wouldn't even have them winning the division. But I think they'll take a step back. But I think easily. Usually, when it comes down to the NFC, if you have that home field advantage, you're pretty much gonna ride on to that Super Bowl. And that's the number one thing that hurt the Lions last year. Because to Mike's point earlier, going for 2 twice in Dallas made you take that loss, ended up with the same record, gave the 49ers that tiebreaker, 49ers home field advantage. But I do think the Lions, they just I think they lock up the number 1 seed and they go to the Super Bowl.
Yo,
Steven got the 49ers?
Is that the Steven I'm thinking about?
Yes, sir, fam.
This motherfucker.
No, well, I'm gonna see him
What's good?
today. I'm gonna see him
What's
today,
good, my
actually.
guy?
So we gonna talk in person. Hey, Steven, man, let me know, man.
That's my dog right there, man.
Every Sunday we on live at 11. We definitely would love to have you on the show, and we talk some more football, man. In fact, we might do a fantasy league. We need that 6th person. We could do a live draft on the show. If you're interested, let me know. It's free. We ain't putting no money on it. You know, just for the fans to see and watch. But laugh my ass off. Y'all gotta get me on. What's up? Hey, I'll send you the link. Definitely could have you on. You are more than welcome, brother. But I think someone at the NFC North is actually going to the Super Bowl potentially, but I don't think it's going to be the Lions.
You got the Chicago Bears.
I'm going with the Green Bay Packers.
The way you talking about Washington, shit.
Hey.
Bears Commanders NFC Championship.
I'm damn sure picking those Commanders come out the NFC, but I definitely got the Packers coming out the NFC. If not the Packers, then I have the Lions as my runner-up, then the Niners. But I got the Packers for the simple fact the team that went to the Super Bowl last year at that conference shouldn't have even been to the Super Bowl. If we're being honest, they should have lost in the divisional to the Packers. Jordan Love had them wrapped up in a bow. He just became Brett Favre at the last play and threw a stupid pick. It still bothers me how bad that pick was. As good as the Niners were last year, everything went right for them on that route to the Super Bowl because they should have lost to Green Bay. They should have lost to Detroit in a routing, if I'm going to be honest. So things have to go your way, obviously, in sports to get to the ultimate chip. Yep, the Packers O-line was trash, Steven, and yet they still should have beaten San Fran. Now you give Love another year of experience. You add Josh Jacobs. You get that young receiver core, which I think is probably can easily be the best receiving core in that division.
They took a big hit last night, though.
What happened last night?
Oh, I never mind. I thought you were talking about the 49ers. My bad.
Oh, no. Green Bay.
Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry.
I think they can easily have the best receiving core in that division. They have Watson, Dobbs, Wicks, Reed. If they can develop at least 2 or 3 of those guys to be legit, at least 2 of them to be legit, and everyone else play their role, that weapons galore. And then you still have Josh Jacobs who can catch it off the backfield too. It's predicated on the defense. I think that defense can be a top 16 type of defense. I trust Matt LaFleur in offensive schemes with Jordan Love to get it done. So my pick will be the Packers to come out the NFC as a sleeper. That'll be my reach. So now we're gonna have our NFL Week 1 picks.
Well, shouldn't we pick our Super Bowl winner too? We haven't done that yet.
If y'all want, I ain't there yet.
Let's save that for another show.
All right, that's fine.
I will say this: my picks for the Super Bowl is either going to be the Ravens or the Chiefs.
All right, see, we already get into it, so we might as well get into it.
That'll be my pick because I want Lamar to get that ring. I want him to get it last year, and for whatever reason, he let me down in that championship game. But I would love to see Lamar get it because I keep hearing these mobile quarterbacks can't get it done. So I would love to have him have those doubters eat crow. And I can't wait to see him win that Super Bowl and have the first commercial with him after he got drafted with Dion. Talking about he's gonna get a Super Bowl out of me, and that'll be the commercial of him actually getting it done. And then of course Mahomes being the first quarterback to three-peat. If he three-peats, that GOAT conversation is gonna be a little bit more dicey. Be the first NFL team to three-peat. It will be crazy. But those will be my picks.
Still got a long way to go.
Oh, for sure. He definitely top 3 already, in my opinion.
All time?
At quarterback, for sure.
Brady, Montana, than him?
I got him ahead of Montana.
Who you got second?
Mahomes. I got Mahomes second. Mahomes is 2. Lamar ain't getting past KC. He should have got past them last year. Think about it. If Zay Flowers doesn't reach out for that touchdown and Ladarius Sneed, who KC just lost, by the way, doesn't poke the ball out, they probably would have stole that game. But it ain't about it. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. So he might not have to see Lamar. CJ Stroud might see Lamar. Don't have to see KC. CJ Stroud might see them first. Who knows? You know, I feel like they're getting a little bit overhyped. But that's a conversation for another day.
My early prediction, I got Detroit beating Kansas City in the Super Bowl.
Lamar did miss a lot of passes. Yeah. It was a lot of bonehead plays that team made that whole entire game. On the left.
Yeah, I got KC. I think until someone beats them, I'm not going to go against them.
All right. Well, Ty, who you got? Hold on, we didn't get to your prediction.
I honestly, I didn't want to answer the question.
I'm not putting this in the contest either. This is just a broad.
This is just a random.
Yeah.
Guess.
So point stands.
Well then, okay. So last week I got
it right here. Hold on.
I had the Texans coming out of the AFC. So right now I have the Lions coming out the NFC. If they was to meet up, I think Detroit will win.
Okay. All right. We're gonna move on to the week 1 schedule picks. I'm gonna put up the schedule here for week 1 so everybody can see. Scroll down. So the first game off season this upcoming Thursday, the season opener. We got Baltimore at KC, which I think is gonna be a huge game. And then we got a Friday game against Green Bay at Philly.
For KC and Baltimore, we can, as I said, for the spreads, if you want to use that, it's Kansas City -3.
I might go straight up. I think Baltimore wins this game.
Straight up, you want them?
Yeah, I'm gonna go straight up. I think Baltimore wins this game.
I'm taking KC straight up.
Taking Baltimore straight up.
All right.
I got Baltimore straight up.
Wow. Okay. Next game is in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And Philly is -2.5. They're the listed home team, even though it's a neutral site.
I got Philly.
You want them straight up?
Yeah. Steven got KC winning. Okay.
I got I'm taking Green Bay.
Green Bay?
Straight up.
Straight up? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take Philly with the spread. 2.5.
Good.
Yeah.
The spread is 2.5. That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got Philly straight up.
All right. Next game, we got so-called America's team, as Moose was saying, against Cincinnati, with Cincinnati laying 8.5. I'm going off my list. Hold on, now we'll wait for that. We'll go off what you got up here.
I was like, hold on, I ain't got Pittsburgh in them, boy. Pittsburgh got Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta's -3.
I got Atlanta winning this game.
You want them straight up or spread?
Straight up.
Straight up. All right.
Yeah, I got Atlanta straight up too.
All right.
Philly at home.
I'm taking Atlanta with the points.
Well, Steven, the Philly Green Bay game is in Brazil, so it's a neutral site. So Philly they're going to have Philly technically as a home team, but it's neutral grounds. But yeah, he got Philly winning that game.
Yeah, Mike, give me Falcons with the spread.
With the points, gotcha. All right, next game we got is Arizona at Buffalo. Buffalo is -6.
ATL's waxing with Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts got to show me something now.
No, I think he meant they wax in Pittsburgh.
Pitt. Oh, yeah. I don't know if it's going to be a wax, though. I believe in that Pittsburgh defense. But it should be a good game. Arizona and Buffalo.
What's the spread on that, Mike?
-6 for Buffalo. So you can take.
I got Buffalo winning.
I got Buffalo on just straight up. You can take the Cardinals +6 peso if you're not confident.
No, I got Arizona straight up.
Wow.
I was actually gonna say I might go upset actually on this.
Yeah, I got Arizona straight up.
I'm gonna go Arizona actually.
You want them straight up with the points, Musa?
I'm taking the points.
Nah, everyone going Arizona except for Mike.
Ty, you got Arizona?
This would have been my upset, honestly, of the week. So yeah, I'm going Arizona straight up.
Wow.
I just the reason being is because that Matt Milano injury is scaring me.
Yeah, no more Jordan Poyer. It's going to be an interesting year over there on defense for Buffalo, and same thing with that wide receiver room.
Yeah, I think Josh Allen's going to throw a pick to end the game.
That could happen. I wouldn't be surprised, especially with the way the Cardinals were playing at the end of last year. Next up, we got
Steven, all the good teams can't win week 1.
I do trust James Cook in the run game, but with the receiver core being young, and it's the first game, I can see Arizona getting a steal in that game. At least Keon Coleman go off.
Next one, we got Tennessee at Chicago. Chicago is -4.5.
I got Tennessee.
Well,
yeah, Tennessee.
I think Will Levis might have a game that day. Calvin Ridley, Hopkins, Tajay Spears, Tony Pollard. I think they might steal that game.
I got the Bears, and I'm going to take them straight up. I'm not messing with the spread on this one.
Yeah, I got Chicago straight up.
I don't know. I feel like that Tennessee defense is very scary.
Sneed gonna have
very scary, very underrated. Obviously, it's not like the craziest defense Caleb Williams could face week 1. But I do think it's gonna take him a while. I don't think he'll have a great game. I think Tennessee takes that one. Yeah.
Don't sleep on that Chicago defense.
I think otherwise, I think season opener in Chicago, they all gonna be hyped.
I haven't watched much. Oh, my bad, Peso. Go ahead.
No, you good. I just think it's gonna be a good game, but I think Chicago gonna win.
I haven't seen much of Tennessee in the preseason, but from name on paper, I do like some of the names that do have on that defense. And I don't trust Will Levis, but I think he might have a game this Sunday because against Chicago, I think Calvin Ridley being there is going to help. So we'll see, but I think they can steal that game.
All right, next up we got who Musa claims is America's team at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are laying 8.5 or -8.5.
Give me the upset.
For really?
I got New England winning straight up. Nah, I'm trolling. Hell no. I got the Bengals winning that game.
You want with the points or straight up?
Straight up.
Straight up? All right. I'm taking Bengals and the points. If this was a 20-point spread, I'd still take the points in the Bengals. This could get real ugly. I don't think I hot take. I don't think the Patriots will win a game this year.
Nah, see,
that's fine with me. Bring on Travis Hunter.
Nah, that's crazy. I think our defense is going to be solid.
We'll see.
Yeah, give me Cincinnati with the points. 8.5 too low.
I put a huge bet on that a few weeks ago.
Drake May is not starting. They named Jacoby Brissett as a starter, which is the best thing they could do. I don't want to throw him out there just too soon.
I got Cincinnati with the points too.
Yeah.
Now the next game is the game. These next 2 games I'm really loving. I need a couple TVs, but I'm trying to watch all these games at the same time.
Red Zone.
Yeah, I don't like the screaming that small though.
Yeah, no, I feel you. By the way, I'll show you a thing after. You can get there's a way to get Sunday ticket free for the first 3 weeks. I can't do it on the stream, but I'll tell you after. I don't know if you're hip to it, but
we'll talk.
Yeah.
Send that through.
Yeah. Houston and Indianapolis.
This is going to be a
one.
goodie.
Yeah, and it's into Indy, just where the end of the season last year for these two, and it could have had a big outcome, much different outcome if the running back just catches that ball. And it's Houston -2.5.
I'm gonna take Houston. Straight up.
All right.
I got Houston straight up.
I'm taking Houston with the points. -2.5.
Yeah, same, Mike.
All right. Okay, next up we have
Jacksonville
and Miami.
I think
Miami's
I had
laying
Miami
3.5.
winning that game.
-3.5.
If I'm being consistent from what I said last week, I think I had Miami winning this game. So I'm gonna go Miami.
I'm very worried about this as a Dolphins fan. I'm not gonna lie. I'm taking the Dolphins straight up, but I am not confident in this pick.
I got Jacksonville
Even got
straight
Texans. Jacksonville
I
straight up.
got Miami straight up.
Okay, next game we got is Carolina at New Orleans. New Orleans is -4.5.
I got the Saints straight up.
I got the Saints too straight up.
All right. I'm going the same as you guys. I'm not messing with the spread.
I got the Carolina Panthers straight up.
Okay. So next up on here, we got Minnesota at the Giants. Minnesota is laying 1 point.
I got Minnesota.
I got the Giants straight up.
Yeah, this is a terrible game.
I think this is one of the games Sam Darnold might have a great game and Jettas go crazy.
I'm taking Minnesota -1. Did you want him -1, Musa? It's basically the same thing.
Sure, yeah. Steven said he got the Saints.
Yeah, give me the Giants straight up.
Right.
Well, spread, I guess.
It don't make a difference. I'm just marking it in there -1. Either way, it's going to count for the same regardless points wise. I'm not because pushes we're gonna tack the points on as a money line win. So that game it don't make a difference. So next game we're at is Vegas and the Chargers. The Chargers are laying 3.
Sam Darnold's gonna ball out. I sure hope so for Jetta's sake.
Who's favorite in this game, you said?
Chargers are -3.
Oh, give me
I got Vegas. Viva la Vegas.
I'm with you, Musa. I'm taking Vegas straight up.
Peso, did you get your prediction for this game?
What are we talking about? Minnesota and New York?
Vegas and with the Chargers. Chargers are -3.
I got Vegas straight up.
Who'd you have to?
I had Vegas.
Vegas straight up. Yeah. Okay, next game we got is Denver at Seattle. Seattle is -6.
I'll take Seattle with the points.
Right.
I'm gonna go Denver.
I'm going with Seattle points.
I'm going to take an upset here, and I'm going to take Denver straight up. I'm with Moose on that one.
I think Bo Nix has a great game.
Yeah, I could see it definitely. The way he played in the preseason.
Even though I'm not as high on him as Clips was, but I think he surprised some people. It's gonna be a tough one though because he's in the 12. But we'll see.
Next game we got is Dallas at Cleveland. Cleveland is -2.5. Just to put it out there, this game is on grass, and Dallas struggles immensely on grass fields for whatever the reason.
I got Cleveland straight up. I think Dallas, things is about to start stirring up over there after this week 1 loss.
I really want to pick Dallas, but I don't trust Deshaun Watson. And it sucks because Deshaun Watson went from being a top 6 type of quarterback to irrelevant.
Honestly, it doesn't matter if this game was on grass, concrete. Still taking the Browns.
Yeah, I got Cleveland.
You guys both want straight up?
Yep.
Yeah, straight up.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna take Dallas plus the 2.5 on this one. I'm gonna see what happens. I don't know if they'll win, but I'll try them with the points and see what happens. All right, next game we got is Washington at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is minus 3.5.
Did I have Washington winning this game? Or they lost the first game? I don't remember.
You put Tampa winning, I believe, if I remember correctly.
I'm gonna go Tampa.
All right.
I'm going with the Commanders.
I'm taking Tampa.
I got Tampa with the points.
All right. Okay, Sunday night game, rematch of last year's wild card matchup. We got the Rams at Detroit. Detroit is minus 3.5 points.
I got Detroit straight up.
Same.
I have the Rams. Matthew Stafford gets his revenge in Detroit Sunday night.
I got you. I'm gonna go with Detroit straight up. I'm not gonna risk laying the points. It'll be a close game, I'm sure. And then now we got the Monday night game. We got the Jets versus San Francisco. San Francisco's minus 3.5. This is we're gonna have to make a prediction of what.
Oh, that is part of week 1, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make a prediction if Williams comes back. I think to bet this or to make a prediction on this game.
I'm gonna go.
I'm taking the Jets straight up.
I'm gonna go San Fran. I'll go San Fran. This is actually a good game too.
Mm-hmm.
That boy Sauce, the Williams brothers on that defense.
I'm taking the Jets straight up.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jets straight up.
All right. So now we've got our 2 college games real quick for next week. And these are probably going to be the only top 25 matchups. They haven't came out with the new standings rule. For what I look at, there isn't really any games that they're gonna come to be top 25 matchups that aren't already.
I want to put up on the screen with our picks from this past week so everyone can see.
I got the updated point standings too, because we still got one game tonight.
But these were our picks from last week. Mike had LSU, Notre Dame, Georgia, all straight up. Clips had USC tonight, plus 4.5, Notre Dame and Georgia. Ty had LSU, Notre Dame, and Georgia as well as Mike did, straight up. Peso has LSU 4.5, minus 4.5. Texas A&M in Georgia. And I picked LSU, Texas A&M, minus 2.5 in Georgia.
Yeah, so as of right now, myself, Ty, and Clips are all tied with 4 points, and Peso and Moose are tied with 2 points. We'll see what happens tonight for the week 1 results. So our first game, this spread could change, but this is the one we're going to go with because they haven't really updated it too much. We have Texas at Michigan. Texas is favored by 3.5 points.
Texas at Michigan. I ain't get to watch.
We talking about Texas, the Longhorns?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What's the spread?
3.5.
Texas is favored by 3.5.
I'm taking Texas straight up.
What
the hell I seen, boy?
Who's at home? Michigan?
Yep.
I didn't watch Michigan, so I can't even.
They beat Fresno by 20, but it was close in the fourth quarter. It was still a 1-score game at one point.
Yeah, I got Texas straight up.
I'm taking Texas minus 3.5.
I'm gonna go. I'll be the outlier. I'll go Michigan.
Yeah, let me get Texas minus 3.5.
Okay. Then last college game this week. Before we do that, I just want to say I pinned in the chat. I'll move it over to the comments, a URL if you like my picks. There's a certain site that I use. You can pay $5 a week for the access, depending on the success of them. Will vary the price. Right now it's $5. That was a little cold before the end of this week, but it's picked up. So as of right now, it's $5 a week if you're interested. But our last college game is Tennessee at NC State. Tennessee is favored by 6.5 points.
I'm gonna go Tennessee.
You said Tennessee and NC State?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like what I saw in NC State this past game. So I'm taking Tennessee straight up.
I am doing the same.
I'll do Tennessee with the spread.
Okay. And that is it for picks this
That
week.
is it for the picks. Before we close out the show, moving forward, we're going to do a grade A shout out day. We're going to be running it here until the NBA season comes back. So if you like and leave a comment. If you have a business, if you have a YouTube channel, whatever it is that you're doing, leave a comment down below here on the channel or on our social media pages, and we'll shout you guys out on our page. So we're going to be starting this on the football side on Pick 6 starting next Sunday. So please leave a comment down below of what your business is, and we'll give you guys a shout out. Fellas, that was a great episode today. Next week, we're going to be covering the week 1 recap, giving our predictions for week 2, as well as doing some more college football picks. Everyone for watching, thank you for watching episode 2. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Grade A.